Napa Mustang Days was this weekend. On Friday, I arrived in time to watch the BLM unload the 40 or so Mustangs that were there for the adoption. They had a little bit of difficulty getting the horses out, but the wranglers were kind and patient. There were several burros for adoption as well. The first animal off the truck was a brave little mule. The rest soon followed, and the array of colors was astounding, and the conformation on these horses was flawless. Truly a grand group of horses. They ranged in age from 1 to 4 years old. Once they were off the truck, the wranglers separated the horses by age and sex. A sheet of paper posted to each corral showed which horses were in the pen, their age, their color, and where they were from. The adoption would take place on Saturday. I am happy to announce that out of the 40 or so animals that were there, 30 were adopted. This stunning Palomino filly had been adopted previously, but was returned due to divorce. She was happy to take cookies from people. I got the pleasure of watching veteran horse trainer Leslie Newman working with the paint gelding. She is quite a master and had her hands on him within 30 minutes. Aries has been making tremendous progress on a daily basis. Each day it seems he accepts things faster and faster. I made it a goal this week to touch his neck. Aries needs to keep making progress. The longer he stays in one place, the harder it is to get him to move forward again. So without overloading him, I do need to keep challenging him. I used the rope again as a bridge. He still needs me to start with the rope before just using my hand. For now, the most challenging part is the transition between face and cheek. Getting my hand under his eye seems to concern him. He will let me cover his eye, which I find fascinating. I believe he startles at my hand below his eye because it comes into his field of view rather suddenly, whereas when I cover his eye from above, it's not as abrupt. The left is still a bit trickier. I mentioned this to Vidal, the BLM Wild Horse and Burro program assistant, and she said it might be due to the fact that at the corrals they do everything on the left: brand, immunize, worm, trim, etc. That might be a very good reason why he is more protective of his left side. At Mustang Days, I watched Leslie Newman work with the young Mustangs and a bag. She wanted the horses to get past their fear of the bag on the end of a stick, realizing they weren't going to be hurt by it, and that tools we humans used weren't going to hurt them. This is a bit of a challenge because a bag is how the wranglers move the horses around the corrals, so it's an extra scary thing. I have not done any bag work with Aries, so I thought I'd try. I start by just playing with the bag and not paying any attention to him. In an earlier episode with Dakota, I discussed the need for the horse to learn the distinction between movement and movement with intent. Here I wanted Aries to just be near the bag, no movement needed. I offer the bag to Aries for him to sniff, but don't leave it there long. If he acknowledges the bag without moving, I release. Bag work is important but tricky. It requires really good timing, as the releases are very important if the horse is to get used to the bag. I did end up getting the bag on Aries' back, but we had to move to the smaller pen, mostly because I couldn't keep up with Aries when he ran. But just as I did with the bamboo pole, I got the bag on his back and only released when he stopped moving. That's a bit hard to do in a 60-foot round pen. Aries and I had a beautiful session on Sunday, and my friend and photographer Marcy Lewis was there to capture the moments. He was so soft and trusting. Several times I caught him dozing off while I was rubbing his forehead. At one point I was scratching over his left eye and he leaned into my hand. I have another friend coming to visit Aries this week who does body work. She is going to coach me on doing body work with Aries. My hope is that he gets some pleasure and some relief from the experience.